Hello. Welcome back to another Demon the Defenders video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to maximize the use of your Mystic Trinkets. The Mystic Trinket is these things here. You get them through various means and stuff like that, but you usually end up sometimes through the wheel events, doesn't matter, but you slowly accumulate these things. I just recently spent a lot of mine, but the best way to get these things here, you use them to get a specific one, and especially the three new or the four new added new gemstones here. That's what I would use the Mystic Trinkets on now. It's like the new ones, because the four added, like the Anger Stone, the Bloodstone, the Curse, and the Solid, you can't get them through the War Song. At least not that I know of. Maybe for people that can get past level 143, this Justicia. I don't even get halfway to killing her and stuff like that. I don't know why she's so strong, but I only have level 28 available here. I only have level 28 available, so and with that, like you can't get those naturally, the new ones anyways. But how the best way to maximize those trinkets is well, first I have to explain to you a little bit of like how generally the gemstones work. With the gemstones, how it ends up working is like there's slot one, right? Then there's slot two, then there's slot three, and then there's slot four, slot five, and then slot six, right? Slot one, like the odd numbers, slot one, three, and five are not changeable. Like if you go to slot one, it's always going to be damage in the orange. You see how it's always damage? That can never change. That's always going to be the case. Slot three is always going to be defense, right? And slot five is always going to be HP. So slot two, four, and six can change. So slot two can be like speed, gemstone HP, can be gemstone attack, gemstone defense. Like it can be like a sort, like different sorts of stuff, right? And same with slot two. Like slot two can be like what's it called, like HP drain, gemstone attack. Can be it can be rage, but it can't be speed and can't be combo attack, right? But if you're looking for combo attack, like you have to go down to like the bottom here. That one can be combo attack, or it can be gemstone HP, or it can be like gemstone attack, right? Like but basically 2, 3, and 4 can change, right? So the best way to maximize it here, out of all of the different, because they're so new and stuff like that, maybe they're not as new, but because they're so rare, the ones I like so far of the new ones is the solid ones. And I'll show you here. The solid ones, it reduces the, when you enter the battle for the next 3 turns, you don't take any damage. You take 90% less damage, right? Which is really good for drawing out, like, you know, those like people's attributes, like, you know, or not the attribute, you know, those like side attacks that people do. So basically the best way to maximize it is like use it on the ones that don't change. So like 1, 3, and 5. So for example, like 1, 3, and 5, because like I'm gonna go to the other Freddy here. Like 1, 3, and 5, you cannot change it, right? So 1, 3, and 5, and the reason why it's best to use it on the ones that you cannot change is because you have the higher chance of getting what you want. So I can't show you this, like I don't have many examples. Like I have to go to the free. I'm switching over to the free to play account because I just don't have that many of those mystic trinkets, right? Now, I don't actually need this one, but I'm just going to show you, like I will be wasting it here just so you guys can get the idea. I'm going to go to my backpack here. I have some of that. Like it takes me so long to get these on the free to play account, right? So I'm not going to do too many to show you guys. But let's say like for the solid, right? Like I want that for my Freddy, right? So that way he can get off his like blazing claw, right, for the reincarnation. But anyways, so I want to go to slot one. So when I go to slot one and I hit buy and I buy it, do you see how here it's damage but like it only came with like 3 spots, right? Like I'm still gonna save it and stuff like that. But imagine if it was like, because it can only be damage, right? So at this point, we're just looking for 4 additional stats, right? We're not being that picky, right? We're not even going for the 4 best that we want, but we're going for just 4 additional stats. So we got another 2 that's not good. This is a really big waste. Um, See, this time here we got 3, right? And we don't want that. We want one that was 4. So let's just go to slot number 3, right? It's the same thing we're doing. This one can only be defense, right? So it can only be defense. So we don't want that one here because it's only 2, right? So we're gonna do that one again. The can only be defense. So okay, so this is actually like an holy moly. This is actually like a really good one, right? And uh this is more likely to happen when you go for the ones that don't change. And that's because these ones don't change, right? It can only be defense. We can only get like, this is actually like a really amazing one. This is actually like, I really wish I had this on my other account. Uh, I'll just explain quickly because the gemstone HP, the percentage, the maximum is 3, and the damage, the maximum is 170, and for the speed, the maximum is 3, and for the HP, the lowest one is 900, and the middle one is 10. Oh, I mean, is 1120, which is this one, and the highest one is 1300. So the only stat that's reduced a little bit is just the HP, which is perfectly fine. But this is a really good one. Like, wow, this is like I couldn't ask for anything better. Like, this is all the stats I want. But let's say like if we were to go like, I'm gonna pick one like, let's say slot number like 5, right? That one you can change, right? Like slot number 5. The reason why you don't want to use this one, okay, it's sort of like a bad example, but like let's say like even though we got the 4 stats that we wanted, like actually this is exactly what I want. This is sort of like, it's really bad actually, but like I want the gemstone HP. Like that's actually like, oh, it kills me that it's on the free to play account. Um, but this is exactly like what I want. It's like the gemstone HP, right? But like this could have been rage, and I wouldn't want that, right? This could have been like gemstone attack. I don't want that, right? Like for this specific one, I want the gemstone HP, right? Like it's a sort of like a bad example, but like let's go with again. Right. Okay. So now we got HP drain, right? Let's say I did want HP drain, right? Let's say I'm looking for HP drain. Now I have to hope that I get HP drain, and then I hope that I get all 4 stats that I need and stuff like that. But it could be like, like gemstone HP with only 2 stats, or it could be like rage with only like 4 stats or something like that, right? There's so many different kinds it can be, right? But because it has so many different variables, right, you're less likely to get what you want. So the best ones to go for is to get the ones that you really need, right? So after you go for one, after you get go for 1, 3, and 5, what you then want to do what you then want to do is then you want to go for the 2-piece bonus, right? So let's just say if I did want this one, right? So let's say for Freddy, I want to get a 4-piece, right? But I only have 3 right now, so we're going to use the mystic trinkets to get 3, right? So I have to get one, like slot 1, 3, and 5, and we get the ones that we're looking for. Okay, now what? Okay, now I'm going to go for the 2-piece bonus that I want. Now for the 2-piece bonus, I want the gravity because it provides 20% HP, right? Because I want this guy to be able to soak up the damage, because I don't want to spend much on this guy, right? But that's not what this video is about. But like, so for that one, I'm going to then go for the ones that are interchangeable, because the gravity one, I get that one on a daily basis, so I'm more likely to get the exact one that I want, right? So I'm not going to use the mystic trinket on this one because um because I most likely have like if I go to gemstone, like I can find what I want. Like if I go to replace, chances are if I go to this, I'm on the free to play account, so I don't have that many gems or whatever. It's sort of like a um I'm gonna be switching back to the account here. So like um so let's say for this one here, right? I'm more likely to get what I want of the gravity one, because I get that one daily through the Warsaw, right? Because I get so many different varieties and stuff like that. I'm going to be able to find the exact one I want. And the one that I want is Gemstone HP, right? So because that one is so readily available, I don't need to spend my trinkets on that one, right? And I can also get the one for the Gemstone HP for the slot 4. I can find that one, right? So after I look for, so I'm going to look for two, and I want this one here. I want Gemstone HP as well, right? I want Gemstone HP, but I don't have got the Gemstone Defense, right? But I want Gemstone HP for all three of these ones, right? So I'm going to look for whichever one's the hardest one to get. So after I get the two that I want, like in slot number 4 and 6, I'm then going to go back. Let's just say it doesn't have to be slot number 4 and 6, right? Like for example, if we go to my other Freddy, this is just for an example, right? I got what I wanted in slot number um, two, 2 and 4, in 2 and 4, right? But I also happened to get the Gemstone HP here. So because I got what I wanted in 2 and 4, there wasn't any more Gemstone HP, like Gemstone HP in the gravity for my other Freddy. So that's when I would go back to so after I figure out which one I couldn't get, right? That's when I would go back to the Gemstone. That's when I would go back and say, okay, because I couldn't find it in the gravity one, I'm not going to go to the solid, and I'm going to go to number 4, and then I'm going to look, and I'm going to try my best. So this will get the 4th bonus that you want for that particular set that you're looking for, right? So like I guess in review, you guys, you want to use your mystic trinkets for slot number for slot number 1, yeah, for slot number 1, 3, and 5. Slot number 1, 3, and 5, because those are not changeable, right? So you're most likely to get what you're looking for. And then go look for the 2-piece that you can and the gems that you already have. And the ones you can't get, then use that one and hope that you get what you're looking for. Or get which one that like um or use it for like the one that you wouldn't mind if you got something else, right? So that's why I use it for the other one, because you notice how it was Gemstone Defense. I don't really mind if I get Gemstone Defense and stuff like that. For that one, if I couldn't get Gemstone HP, so that's why I settled on that one, and I just upgraded to level 6 or whatever, like really quickly. But anyways, guys, I hope that helped you. And if you're wondering about the other gems and stuff like that, like if you're wondering about the other gemstones here, and what I think about them is I don't think that they are worth getting, because we don't know how good they are, because they're so rare and stuff like that, and it eats up a lot of the trinkets and stuff like that. The only thing I can say is I can I have seen people using the bloodstone on Dragoon. I've seen a lot of people use the bloodstone on Dragoon, and personally, if I was to pick which ones of these to use, like which ones would I actually use, I would use them more as two piece bonuses. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, before, let's say you're using your 4-piece for Gemstone attack, right? You're using your 4-piece for Gemstone attack, but you wanted, I mean, for the 4-piece for like this crit, right? Like that's what you're looking for. Let's say on who's that, on Ursula, right? Or Azora, sorry, on Azora, you want like the 4-piece bonus for that crit, right? But for Azora, you don't really need, like, HP drain. You don't really need, like, I suppose you kind of don't really need like the combo attack. I would like to have the most damage I possibly could get, and that's where the new one would come in, right? That's when I would go like, okay, whereas before you can never, there was only one gemstone attack, right? I can now go with a 2-piece bloodstone and add an even more attack to Azor, right? So that's what I mean by I would focus on just using, like, like if you wanted more shield, right? Like if you were using who's the character that uses shield, um that that demon girl or whatever, that girl that nobody really uses, her Scorpio, right? Like if you're using shield on Scorpio and you wanted more shield, right? You can now use the 2-piece shield, even though you wouldn't use the. Would you use the soul for? Yeah, anyways, you guys get what I mean though, right? You can use it for an additional two-piece and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you learned something here, and I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you.